Hello future teachers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will have a pre-board about general education English subject. Hopefully this video will help you. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe and click the notification bell for more videos like this. Let's start. 1. Had I studied very well, I blank rewarded with vacation in the US. A. Was. B. Would have been. C. Will be. D. Would be. Two. When helping in the kitchen, I am always careful not to hurt blank. A. Ourselves. B. Myself. C. Himself. D. Herself. Three. Neither the teacher nor the students blank present in the affairs. A. Were. B. Was. C. Am. D. Is. Four. My sister and I met an acquaintance of blank on the shopping mall. A. Ours. B. Us. C. Mine. D. Ourselves. Five. We admire blank when Cynthia speaks English fluently with blank. A. Him, them. B. Him, we. C. Her, us. D. Him, me. Six. On your trip to Tagaytay, if you chance upon Arsenio, please give blank my warm regards. A. Himself. B. Myself. C. Him. D. Me. Seven. The student's request to reset the test blank reasonable. A. Were. B. Very. C. Are. D. Is. Eight. My concept of inner peace came from my mother's daily activities which I now recall with fondness and awe. She was full-time housewife, wholly dependent on my father's monthly salary. How she made both ends meet, guided us in our studies and did small acts of charity on the side was beyond me. The mother's financial resources are blank. A. More than enough. B. Abundant. C. Miserable. D. Limited. Nine. The figures must be transmuted in order to understand the grade. The capitalized word means blank. A. Estimated. B. Changed. C. Surpassed. D. Summed. Ten. Some preachers suggest the blank that the end of the world is near. A. Proposal. B. Prophetic. C. Prophecy. D. Prophet. (11) The courage of the child who saved his brother from a raging fire is worth blank. A. Emulating. B. Mentoring. C. Narrating. D. Watching. (12) The expression of bad IQ connotes A. Uneducated. B. Low profile. C. Awkward looking. D. Smart. 13. Several factors must be assessed to arrive at a sound blank. A. Query. B. Decision. C. Change. D. Problem. (14) Because of profanity the program was suspended from television. The capitalized word means A. Obscenity. B. History. C. Decency. D. Falsehood. (15) A story put together through an exchange of letter is called blank literature. A. Fiction. B. Epistolary. C. Episodic. D. Classic. (16) What figure of speech is, "The Lord is my shepherd"? A. Simile. B. Hyperbole. C. Irony. D. Metaphor. (17) What figure of speech is the following: "He is the black sheep of the family"? A. Metaphor. B. Simile. C. Alliteration. D. Hyperbole. (18) Sturdy and strong, the Filipinos are like the Malay of his blank. A. Simile. B. Irony. C. Metaphor. D. Hyperbole. (19) She is a lovely rose is blank. A. Simile. B. Hyperbole. C. Irony. D. Metaphor. (20) It dropped as a gentle rain from heaven is what figure of speech? A. Personification. B. Simile. C. Hyperbole. D. Metaphor. (21) In William Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, Portia, the judge said, "The quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed, it blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightier than the mightiest. And one is likened to God when mercy seasons justice." The main thought of the excerpt at that blank. A. Mercy is only for deserving. B. Mercy is limited in extent. C. Mercy is spontaneous and freely given. D. Mercy comes from the rain. (22) Though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the glass, of glory in the flower, we will grieve not. Rather find strength in what remains behind. This stanza expresses blank. A. Grief. B. Hope. C. Loss. D. Despair. (23) Cognitive skills are not easily observable because they are blank. A. Overt. B. Psychological. C. Hidden. D. Mental. (24) The celebrated play of William Shakespeare about two ill starred who come from warring families. A. Romeo and Juliet. B. Hamlet and Ophelia. C. Antony and Cleopatra. D. Anna and the King. (25) Who is the father of modern psychology? A. Watson. B. Skinner. C. Thorndike. D. Wund. (26) Famous sculptor of landmark structures. A. Jacinto. B. Manansala. C. Castrillo. D. Cuevas. (27) What is the lowest form of learning? A. Perceiving. B. Responding. C. Conditioning. D. Teaching. (28) Which of the following is the study of human behavior? A. Philosophy. B. Morality. C. Psychology. D. Ethics. (29) The Filipinos are deeply religious, however, sometimes this religiosity instills the negative attitude of blank. A. Social responsibility to participate in the development of the society. B. Resignation and ends up into doing nothing to improve one's condition. C. Total surrender to God in times of helplessness is best. D. God who is omnipotent and omniscient will allow what is best. (30) Which of the following statements is true about textbook laid on the table? A. No force is acting on it. B. The textbook undergoes acceleration. C. The sum of the forces acting upon it is zero. D. The textbook undergoes deceleration. (31) Analects which are short and weighty sayings that treat of moral values and good human relation, are attributed to A. Mao Zedong. B. Confucius. C. Mencius. D. Lao Tzu. (32) Which of the following is an artistic tradition that seeks to revive past glory in various forms? A. Antique. B. Modern. C. Contemporary. D. Classical. (33) What is the application of the principles of theories of human behavior in teaching and learning? A. Educational theory. B. Educational philosophy. C. Educational psychology. D. Educational sociology. (34) I am a retired public school teacher. As a teacher, I was branded as a terror in school. The pupils dreaded the day they would enter my class. Little did they know that behind my unpopular facade was a heart full of compassion. But how did I earn this moniker? I did not tolerate dirty pupils in my class. I wanted them to know that cleanliness of body was good for their health. I inspected their teeth, nails, footwear, handkerchief, clothes, ears, noses and hair. The public school teacher gives much importance to her pupils' blank. A. Cleanliness. B. Study. C. Absence. D. Posture. (35) Considering the tayo-tayo mentality of the Filipinos, one goal for change that should be worked on is to develop blank. A. A sense of common good. B. A sense of national pride. C. Pakikisama. D. The habits of discipline and hard work. (36) Who is the proponent of the arena theater? A. Carpio. B. Tino. C. Montano. D. Aviana. 37. She is known for the love sonnets she wrote. A. Paz Marquez Benitez. B. Edith Trempo. C. Gilda Cordero Fernando. D. Ofelia de Malanta. "38. What is a collection of Indian sacred hymns? A. Rig Veda. B. Mahabharata. C. Upanishad. D. Ramayana. "39. Which is not characteristic of people with a strong sense of self-efficacy? A. View challenging problems as tasks to be mastered. B. Recover quickly from setbacks and disappointments. C. Avoid challenging tasks. D. Develop deeper interest in the activities in which they participate. "40. Who is the first mythical geographer who was recognized due to his vivid descriptions of lands and people encountered by his hero Ulysses? A. Virgil. B. Plato. C. Homer. D. Cicero. "41. Haiku is traditional Japanese poems consisting of underscore. A. 8 lines ending in rhyming couplet with death as topic. B. Lines of poetry in free verse with ordinary things as topic. C. 3 lines totaling 17 syllables with nature as topic. D. 4 lines that rhyme with love as topic. "42. This Filipino writer in English who used Hispanic Filipino culture and traditions in his fiction works. A. Edilberto Tiempo. B. Nick Joaquin. C. Chanel Jose. D. Jose Garcia Villa. "43. Who is the famous composer from Angono who is also a national artist? A. Buenaventura. B. Senazal. C. San Pedro. D. Kayo. "44. Which among the following is the part of the newspaper where you can see the opinions of people? A. Classified section. B. Obituary. C. Headline. D. Editorial section. "45. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, is taken room the poem. A. O Captain, my Captain. B. Invictus. C. The Arrow and the Song. D. None of these. "46. A poem lamenting the dead. A. Sonnet. B. Ode. C. Elegy. D. Satire. "47. Verse with 14 iambic pentameter lines. A. Epic. B. Sonnet. C. Verse. D. Prose. "48. He was deprived of a mother's love. A. Satisfied. B. Debarred. C. Chosen. D. Given. "49. The famous painting One Luna made. A. Spolarium. B. Bahagari. C. Rice paddies. D. Sunset. (50). It is a Japanese poem with 17 syllables. A. Nippongo. B. Haiku. C. Canto. D. Tenaga. Answer key. 1. B. 2. B. 3. A. 4. A. 5. C. 6. C. 7. D. 8. D. 9. B. 10. C. 11. A. 12. C. 13. B. 14. A. 15. B. 16. D. 17. A. 18. A. 19. D. 20. B. 21. C. 22. B. 23. D. 24. A. 25. D. 26. C. 27. A. 28. C. 29. B. 30. C. 31. B. 32. D. 33. C. 34. A. 35. A. 36. C. 37. D. 38. A. 39. C. 40. C. 41. C. 42. B. 43. C. 44. D. 45. B. 46. C. 47. B. 48. B. 49. A. 50. B. Thank you and God bless.